Today, I will discuss the physical activity, exercise, and the physical fitness. Now, let's define physical activity. Defined as any bodily movement produced by the skeletal muscles that results in energy expenditure. Kumbaga, kahit anong activity po na binibigyan natin or naglalaan tayo ng energy, ito po ay maaaring tawaging physical activities. Ano nga ba yung mga example nito? For example, playing sports, pag mahilig kayo mag-sports, like basketball and kinds of balls, pwede din kayo sa mga pagtakbo, running, or badminton, ay matatawag po siyang physical activities. Mga muscular na gawain, mga pagbubuhat, is pwede din siyang maituring na physical activities. Ayan, yung iba't ibang sports like biking or cycling, ayan nga, badminton, soccer, ayan, even yung mga larong Pilipino, Chinese garter, tapos mga saranggola, is example po yan ng tinatawag natin na physical activities. Even yung stretching po na tinatawag, pag nag-i-stretch tayo, is physical activities na rin po yun. For example, tinutusan tayo ng nanay natin na bumili, physical activities na rin po yun kasi nag-walk tayo. Or gumawa tayo ng mga gawaing bahay, is consider po siya na physical activity. Basta po naglaan tayo ng energy or ginamitan po natin siya ng energy, ito po ay tinatawag na physical activity. Now, let's define the physical fitness. Ano ba yung pinagkaiba niya sa physical activity? In physical fitness, it is contrast in physical activity, which is related to the movements that people perform. Physical fitness is a set of attributes that people have or achieve. Being physical fit has been defined as the ability to carry out daily tasks with vigor and alertness, without undue fatigue, and with ample energy to enjoy leisure time pursuits and to meet the unforeseen emergencies. Pag sinabi po natin physical fitness, ito yung kabaliktaran naman or kaiba sa tinatawag na physical activity. Pag sinabi kasi yung physical activity, ito yung nagmo-moves ka, ito yung may ginagamit kang energy. Ngayon kapag sinabi na po natin na physical fitness, ito na yung pinaka outcomes or yung pinaka effects dung ginawa mong activity, di ba? For example, nag-review ka, ngayon ang pinaka-outcomes mo is nakapasa ka. Ngayon naman pag dito, for example, gumawa ka ng mga physical activities, ang pinaka-kalalabasan nun is yung physical fitness na tinatawag. Ngayon, paano ka nga daw ba maituturing ng physical fitness? Ito yung kapag nagawa mo yung mga activities mo or yung mga physical activities na tinatawag na hindi ka po nagkakasakit. Kasi dapat magawa mo to with vigor. Pag sinabing vigor, ito yung strength or yung tinatawag na physical strength and alertness. Hindi ka napapatig. Ayun po, kumbaga ito din yung kasi di ba minsan kapag over na tayo sa mga activities natin is napapatig tayo or nagkakasakit tayo. Ngayon kapag nagkaroon ka ng ganyan instances, ibig sabihin nun hindi ka pa talaga physical fit kasi hindi pa siya kinakaya nung katawan mo. Ito yung mga example ng mga physical fit na tao. O, di ba? Pac Marian Rivera, di ba? Kaya nga siya tinuring na one of the sexiest women here in the Philippines. Hindi siya naging ganun yung katawan niya dahil ginusto niya o minagic niya lang, di ba? Syempre, nag-ano siya, mga tamang food, then syempre yung tinatawag nating mga physical activities para magkaroon siya ng ganyang katawan. Ito yung second example. O, Pac, I'm fresh. Joke lang yan, ito talaga yun. Ayan, di ba? Kung gusto niyo maging physical fit na tinatawag, syempre, kailangan natin ng mga physical activities and proper food na kinakain or mga diet foods. Ayan po yung sinasabi natin na physical fitness.
Before starting the module, please like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be updated with latest uploads. I want you to set aside other tasks which may disturb you while enjoying the lessons. Read the simple instructions below to successfully enjoy the objectives of this kit. Have fun. Follow carefully all the contents and instructions indicated on every page of this module. Write in your notebook the concept about the lessons. Writing enhances learning, which is important to develop and keep in mind. Perform all the provided activities in the module, use a separate sheet of paper in answering the exercises. Finish the task at hand before proceeding to the next page. Analyze conceptually the post-test and apply what you have learned. If you encounter any difficulty in answering the tasks in this module, do not hesitate to ask for help from your teacher. The name Tinikling is derived from a bird known in the Philippines as dalawa. The pair of bamboo that struck against the ground producing a clapang sound with a meter of 3. The two names of female costume in Tinikling apat. Tinikling became popular when 5. Traditional Tinikling dance accompanied 6. It is the male costume in Tinikling 7. 2 or 4 pairs of poles are held by 2 or more nilang or sitting people. The Tinikling is one of the oldest dances in the Philippines. It is characterized by the movements of 1 or more dancers between 2 bamboo poles while these are beaten in a certain rhythm against each other and onto the ground. Where does Tinikling come from? The Tinikling originated in the island of Leyte. The name refers to a bird that is known in the Philippines as tikling. The dance as we know it today is inspired by the bird showy gait when it struts through the grass with its long stilts and the way it runs through branches or dodges bamboo traps set up by rice farmers. It is traditionally danced to rondalia music, a sort of serenade played by an ensemble of stringed instruments which originated in Spain during the Middle Ages. There are numerous stories about the origin of Tinikling. One of the most common ones is that it had Ari Senador among field workers. When the Spanish controlled the Philippines, the indigenous locals often worked on the huge plantations and haciendas of the colonial rulers. If someone worked too slowly, he had to fear harsh penalties. For the punishment, people had to stand between 2 spine-tipped bamboo poles, which were then struck against the feet of the offenders. They tried to escape the painful punches by hopping over the rods. When the workers returned to their communities, they started training to escape the blows of the bamboo poles. Out of this, first a competition evolved, then a skill, and finally a dance. Later, the movements of the tickling bird were incorporated and the fixed sequences of steps emerged that determine the dance in its present form. For this traditional folk dance, females wear a dress called balintawak or patadyong. And males wear a uniform called barong Tagalog. The balintawak are colorful dresses with wide-arched sleeves and the patadyong is a pineapple fiber blouse paired with checkered skirts. The barong Tagalog uniform is usually lightweight long-sleeved shirts and worn with red trousers. Dancers wear no footwear while performing. The name Tinikling is a reference to birds locally known as tikling, which can be any of several rail species. But more specifically refers to the slaty-breasted rail, the buff-banded rail, and the barred rail. The term Tinikling literally means to perform it tickling-like. The dance originated in Leyte, island in Visayas. It imitates the movement of the tickling birds as they walk between grass stems, run over tree branches, or dodge bamboo traps set by rice farmers. Dancers imitate the tickling bird's legendary grace and speed by skillfully maneuvering between large bamboo poles. 2 or 4 parallel pairs of bamboo poles, each around 6 to 12 feet, 1.8 to 3.7 na metro, long, are held by 2 or more sitting or nilang people. The poles are used as percussive instruments accompanying rondalia music played with string instruments. They produce clapang sounds as they are struck against the ground, or 2 raised pieces of wood, and each other in a triple meter pattern. Traditionally, the poles are tapped twice on the ground on the first 2 beats, then brought together on the 3rd beat. Please like and subscribe this channel and tap the bell icon for new content and video lesson in Physical Education Grade 7.
Tinikling, Tinikling, a traditional Philippine folk dance, which originated during the Spanish colonial era. The dance involves two people beating, tapang, and sliding bamboo poles on the ground and against each other in coordination, with one or more dancers who step over and in between the poles in a dance. Tinikling dance is one of the famous folk dances in the Philippines. Considered as the national dance, it derives its name from the word tikling, on how the birds skillfully maneuver with grace in between the bamboo poles. Activity 2.